Greetings and welcome to Wednesday Ramblings. It's a little bit later today that I'm doing the ramblings. It's still Wednesday, however, so that's a start. This is the final week of this current message series, What is the Message? When I initially designed the message series, I was looking at it being a 7-week program, but I'm now preparing for a Lenten program titled Seriously God, making sense of God when nothing else can make sense. That's not quite the title, but it's close. So in fact, that message series is starting a week before we enter into the season of Lent. So that effectively means that this weekend is the last weekend. It's a long way around to say that in this weekend's message, I'm actually summarising a lot more fully what the message series was about, picking up all the way through from the beginning, where there was a sense of the joy of the gospel as Mary cared for the young couple at the wedding at Cana in Galilee, of talking about the vision that Jesus had for his ministry as he told the people that he's come to bring good news to the poor, and then telling them that this was a message, a text that was being fulfilled even as they listened. And then hearing the story of Jeremiah being chosen before he was born, of Isaiah being commissioned to go out and to preach, of Jeremiah being able to say, woe to those who turn aside from God, and blessings on those who stake their trust in the Lord. Listening to Jesus speak about the call of the disciples, the challenge for them to now take on this new ministry, even though they felt inadequate and unable to do it. And this weekend we have a radical reflection on what the gospel message is about, moving from the age-old suggestion of an eye for an eye, a very reasonable way of dealing with issues so that justice was actually meted out equally and not become overloaded by anger and other things. That if something happened to a person, then you could not inflict any punishment or any revenge on that person greater than the initial action. But Jesus says, no, that's wrong. And he reminds us that we're called to treat others as we would hope that they would treat us. We've been called to be compassionate as our Heavenly Father is compassionate. We've been challenged to turn the other cheek, to walk that extra mile, to do all of the things that seem so completely stupid and so completely opposite what we would think or feel is if we're being attacked or in any way harmed. And yet Jesus is inviting us to a whole new way of living. And that was the message. Right from the beginning, it was this message of God has anointed us to bring good news to the poor, and he is going to do it by asking us to take on a completely different understanding of living and life, a way so totally foreign in many ways to what our own human values and our own human thoughts and desires might be. God is inviting us to step into something totally different, and we know that God is with us. His words are comforting, but they're not comfortable. They're challenging. They're inviting us to turn around and look differently at the world. As we prepare to enter into the new message series, Seriously God, then we're going to be asked to look at some of the things that don't quite work in our world, where we see the challenges of every day, and God is giving us a different vision, a different understanding. And all through this season we'll be asking, what is it that God is saying to us in the midst of our everyday? I'm looking forward to this Lenten series. I'm looking forward to giving people the possibility to think about and reflect on some of the incredible stories that God has given us. And I invite you to be with us as we go on that journey. Yes, each Sunday there will be the podcast available that's on Podomatic, Mike Delaney, .podomatic.com, or it's going to be on YouTube and on Facebook. It'll be there every week, and it'll be there so that you can have a look at what we're doing and why we're doing it. So Come and join us. Let's listen to what God is talking to us about when He's inviting us to say, yes, Lord, to whatever He asks of us. Have a great week. We look forward to seeing you next time. And please don't forget to catch up with our next message series, Seriously God.